I think I better reintroduce myself. I'm Bill. I'm Bill. I've had a bit of sad news today. My very first teacher died a couple of days ago, so soon, a little while ago. Brenda Gately. Brenda Gately was the very first teacher I ever had. Does anybody remember Howdale School in the 1970s? No, because we were 5 years old when we started school. I think I might have gone to nursery school, or something. But five years old was when I went to primary school. That's when school started, when you were 5 years old. So listen, I feel sorry for kids today. I do. I really feel sorry for kids. Do you know children are being sent off to school at 2 years old or 3 years old? Isn't it sad? Yeah, look, when I was a kid in the I was born in 1966. Sorry, 66. But when we were 4 years old, we went to nursery school for about a couple of hours, 2 or 3 hours or something, But you're shoving kids in at the deep end now. You're sending them to school when they're 2 or 3 years old. Isn't that the time you want to spend with your mummy? Until you're about 4 years old, don't you want to live with like your mummy, sort of like, kind of like it's supposed to be sort of connecting and all that, like, yeah. But you're sending kids off to school at about 3 years old or something, I think, aren't you? People are actually sending the kids off to nursery school at 3 years old. I think it's a bit young to send your kids off to school. Because that's where mummy should be teaching you, isn't it? Oh, I had some sad news today. My very first teacher, Brenda Gately, Mrs. Gately, died. I've got some sad news for a few old friends. In fact, I have a little bit of sad news for some old friends. Mrs. Gately, Brenda Gately, she died, I think, a little while ago, a week or so ago, or a day or so ago. I don't know. She just died in a way, so our very first teacher, the gate has opened, All right, let's make sure I've not got Alzheimer's. Do you remember Hatfield School? Howdale School. Howdale School. How many people remember Howdale School? No, probably not. No one in this audience, probably. I'm saying, oh, fucking hell. I said probably nobody in this audience, right? No one, right? Okay, Howdale School. Howdale School, that was in quite a long time. But Mrs. Gately was the first year teacher. She was sort of like to the first year. Well, let's test my memory. A few names. Daniel Barnes. Yeah, because Dan, Mrs. Gately's dead, Tony Scott was in the same year as us as well. And what's his name? Who else was at Mrs. Gately's class? Paul Salute. That's right, Paul Salute. Dan Barnes. Tony Scott. Gary Stoker. David Brown. And there were girls as well. Gail. Can't remember your fucking surname. And Rebecca. And Jackie. Was that Howdale or Hatfield School? That might have been Hatfield School. Alright, so Howdale's... No, I don't know if Jackie... No, Jackie didn't have... I'm not sure. No, she didn't have Miss Gately. Sorry, no. Robert and Donald, I think would have Mrs. Gately as a first year. I don't know if Donald had Mrs. Gately as the first year teacher. Robert did. I'm pretty sure Robert did as well. Mrs. Gately, first year teacher. But in my class there was Paul Salou, Daniel Barnes. I think Stephen Archer was in the class. But there was Tony. How do you know him a minute ago? And there was David Brown and Gary Stoker as well. We were all in the same class together. We're 52 this year, guys. Paul Salou, that's right. Paul Salou was there as well. Paul Salou, Dan Barnes, me. Do you know, actually, me and Paul Salou, I met Paul Salou again in about 1994 when we did a march. It was the night, do you remember the night Derek Jarman died? Paul Salou. You remember the night Derek Jarman died? And we were on that gay pride march, the one against to lower the age of consent down to 16, lowered it down to 18 kind of thing. It was the night Derek Jarman died, wasn't it? 1994. That was the last time I saw Paul. Hope he's alright. Paul Salou, last time I saw you, alright. Good. You know, by the way, yeah, I'm just giving a bit of bad news. Mrs. Gately's dead. Well, she died, a little while ago. So, yeah, our very first teacher. Mrs. Gately was our very first teacher. It was Tony Scott, that's right, it was Tony Scott. But you were there. We were 5 years old, 5 years old. Weren't we? Do you remember Mrs. Gately? Do you remember Mrs. Gately? And we used to sort of like had a toy fort in the classroom. It was a great toy fort, and we had toy soldiers, tin soldiers. They were like made out of tin or something, tin soldiers and stuff. And she read us books, and we read books, and she taught us how to do our alphabet. She taught us the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, etc. Just saying, gates are open. I can't think of anything else to say about that, but I just thought I'd let you know. I'm not quite at Alzheimer's yet. I can remember your names. Well, I can't remember many of the girls' names, actually. I can't. I'm trying to. Yeah. I do remember the boys' names. In Howdale School, 1971, I think it was when we started school. We were 5 years old. I don't think it's right to start school before 4. I mean, I thought, this Charlotte thing, or this Princess, whatever, 2.5, I think. Go a bit ahead of the time. What about the mother connection? Because you want to sort of connect to your mother, so sort of like for the first 3 years or whatever, or 4 years. No, I think for the first 4 years, stay at home. I don't think you should really start primary school till you're 5 years old. I think sometimes they push things a bit. It's my own personal opinion anyway. I think you should give them a chance to sort of like bond with them parents and stuff. Life's a funny game. Have you ever noticed, right? Have you ever noticed when you die, you go, like that, you see, when you die, don't you? Everybody, basically. When you die, you basically go like, and then you're dead, like, yeah. So that's the end, isn't it? Just sort of thinking about it,